Hello everyone, thank you so much for clicking on today's video and welcome to my channel. This story is absolutely heartbreaking and there is a trigger warning here for children navigating the traffic system, if you know what I mean. But it does end on a slightly positive note. In today's story, OP reaches out to r/legal advice because according to his family, his sister was sent out to a boarding school a few months ago. She's only 9 years old and she's never come back. He's a teenager himself and has no idea what to do. Luckily, this is one of the greatest times of humanity and Reddit was able to help. I do hope that you enjoyed this story. If you do, please leave a thumbs up. And I just wanted to take a second and thank everyone who's subscribed to my channel. Thank you so much. You guys are the ones that keep me going. And for those of you that don't know, I have a personal goal to reach 1,000 subscribers. So if you like my content and would like to support me, I'd really appreciate it if you could hit the subscribe button. Anyways, thank you so much for your time and on to the story. I think something very bad happened to my sister. This is a throwaway because this is seriously terrifying. I scoop Reddit a lot and I really don't know where to go, but I hope that I can be helped here. I'm a 14-year-old male. I'm American, but I live in Asia. Being vague because I don't want this traced back to me if the situation is as bad as it seems. I don't know if I should give some sort of background or anything, but up until about 7 months ago, I lived with my mom, who's 39 years old, my dad, who's 41, plus my little sister, who's 9 years old. I say was because my sister is no longer here. She's in quote-unquote boarding school. I want to preface this by saying that we were not bad kids. We're half white, half Asian. When my grandpa, in my dad's side, got sick about 4 years ago, we moved here so that my dad could take care of him. My sister and I worked hard to learn the language. Despite her age, she actually caught on better than me and I was so impressed with her. The real issue began with Grandma. She would really look down on my sister and I love my sister and I didn't like it one bit. My mom says that it's cultural and I shouldn't make a fuss, but it was hard when Grandma really started making it obvious. She got me clothes, games, and many other things, but my sister got no attention. I should also mention that 4 years ago, we lived with Grandpa and Grandma, and in that time frame of me getting spoiled, my sister got reprimanded for everything she did. I swear it was super unfair, you wouldn't even believe. Just under a year ago, Grandpa passed and my parents decided that we'd stay here since I already speak and read pretty fluently. Grandma spoke to everyone about how rude and unladylike my sister is, and my parents went along with it when I completely think that's wrong. 7 months ago, her and my grandma went out and my parents said that she'd be at boarding school for the summer. Just the summer. After 3 months, I got anxious and asked when she'd be back, and my mom ended up crying at the question. I was talked to by my dad and he said that she loved boarding school so much that she didn't want to come back yet. Like what? Is that how boarding school works? I don't think so. Maybe I've been watching too much TV or reading too much Reddit, but we're in another country and I swear what they were doing was emotional abuse. Still, it got worse. After 5 months, I still hadn't gotten any contact. No message, no letters, nothing. And that's when my dad started making her room into his office space. We actually got into a huge fight over it, and I ended up with more chores, but he never answered why he was doing it if she'd be coming back soon. Anyway, it's now been 7 months since that car trip that took my sister away, and the final nail in the coffin hit. I was looking through the attic for my mom and found a box with some of her old stuff, including her phone. Why wouldn't she have her phone? I really just want to know if there's anything I can do. No one will tell me which boarding school she's at. I'm told not to worry about it because I'm a child. I know that I'm too young to do much if there's anything I can do. Please help. When I think about it, I can't stop remembering the way that my mom cried that day. It makes me shiver. I've been imagining the worst and I'd hate it if it ended up being something along my mind. Hello Reddit. It's been a crazy few weeks, but I absolutely needed to update as soon as possible. Sorry my post got locked and I appreciate everyone who spoke to me via DMs. Sorry to those I couldn't get back to. It was a lot. I should get on with the most important thing of the update, what I finally ended up doing. So thanks to the super community that Reddit is, I was able to get in touch with a few different sources, the least favorite of which was a phone call towards those that help find trafficked children. I knew my family would be investigated and actually went to meet up with another family in that time. So basically, a Redditor close to my age, who I'll keep private, met with me and she had already showed my story to her family. They ended up letting me stay with them for a bit and made the proper calls to make sure that it wasn't illegal. I actually even specified that I wasn't running from home and that I'd come back after the investigation. It didn't sit so well with the authorities and I was actually forced to go back home, but it only got stranger from there. I went back home to a completely empty house. Even grandma was gone, so I was allowed to stay with the other family for the time being. They were extremely kind. For a week, I didn't get any news, and bless her mother's heart, I was told that I had a home here no matter what the results were. So, a few days after a week had passed, I get a call and it turns out that they found my sister. My family had been taken in for questioning and were placed in holding for quite a while. I'm not sure why they didn't tell me this immediately though. I don't actually know the full story, but my sister was living close to 300 kilometers away. Yeah, nearly a whole day's drive. It wasn't summer school, or boarding school, or anything like that. My dad had sold her to get married. My mom was off the hook as one, I still needed a parent, and two, she wasn't in on it until it was a decent ways in. My dad and grandma have been arrested though, and I'm back living with my mom and sister now. I'm still in contact with the Redditor who let me stay with her, and I will forever be grateful. I have no idea what would have happened if I was around when the authorities came knocking. She's my angel. On a more depressing note, my sister doesn't speak much, but she seemed to cheer up after I let her read my post. She said that she felt abandoned and alone, amongst other things, but seeing how I and plenty of strangers gave their hearts for her made her feel very happy, so thank you all. Sorry for being so vague here, but I'm trying to protect identities. This isn't over by a long shot, but there's still things that are going to happen. But I have my sister and that's all thanks to Reddit. Thank you. So hey Reddit, I made a post a little while ago about my sister and thanks to the power of Reddit, I got her back. I left the account with no real intention of returning, but about a week ago my sister was feeling down and wanted to read some comments. OMG. There's so much going on. The post blew up and we got added to an update Reddit and it's practically the top of the page. I'm actually very embarrassed but proud as many Redditors said I should be. About the DMs, I'm so sorry but there are hundreds and I'm starting more than 3 or 4 conversations is already a bit overwhelming with everything else going on. That being said, I'm sure you'd all rather hear about my sister. So first off, there was another investigation, a much bigger one since everyone in our home is an American citizen. I thought I didn't have much family on my mom's side because that's what my dad told us all our lives. Turns out I have an uncle and we're with him as of 2 weeks ago. My mother on the other hand is also awaiting trial as well. I won't lie, some of the Redditors are a little cruel but understandably so. My mother was complicit, even if she could do minimal to stop it, but she's still my mom and my dad is still my dad. It hurts that I just lost them in the span of a month. What they did to my sister is unforgivable and I will likely cut all contact, but losing the people that dotted on me since day one is a lot. As suggested, we're starting therapy and we've already had a first meeting, but it was mostly introductions and getting settled, nothing of note to talk about. My sister gives her heart to all you guys and things seem to be a little calmer now. More personally, I'm still friends with that lovely girl, still in Taiwan, and we're in close contact. She'll always be my hero, and she'll very likely read this update so I won't embarrass her, but she's got sister status now, and she's well aware of what I do for my sister. Thanks again Reddit. I'm now feeling pretty good. Love you all. Peace. So guys, what did you think about this? I am so angry right now. How are there people like this on the planet? A 9-year-old? An effing 9-year-old? Are you effing serious? Like, oh my god, I hope everyone in the family goes to jail. I do feel sorry about OP and the fact that he has to lose his parents. because I understand that it's going to be tough, but these people deserve to rot in jail for the rest of their lives. Everyone, including that horrid grandma. Oh my god, I'm so angry right now. Like, I have tears of frustration. But I'm also so glad that OP's okay, that the sister's okay, that they're going through therapy. I cannot imagine the horrors that the child went through. Like, I cannot. But I'm so glad that she's safe, and I wish her the best, and I hope the therapy really helps, and that she's able to overcome some of the trauma that she's experienced. Anyway, that's all for today, folks. Thank you so much for listening to the story. If you enjoyed it, please leave a thumbs up and please subscribe if you'd like to hear more stories from Reddit with updates.